Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I was kind of struggling to come up with what to film. So I was scrolling through stuff that I've already filmed and I noticed a video from months ago that was me talking about my least favorite product from 10 different drugstore brands. And I feel like I always meant to make a follow-up video that was my favorite product from those same 10 brands, and I just never did. So that's what we're gonna do today. I will leave the previous video about my least favorite product from these brands in the description box down below, so if you want to see what I don't recommend from these brands and me being a little bit petty about it, you can go ahead and check that out after this video. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about the best product from each of these 10 brands, in my opinion. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these same 10 brands that I did in my initial video. So the first brand is e.l.f., my all-time favorite product from e.l.f., and this is saying a lot because they make so many things that I love. But my favorite product from them is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which is so sad because you can't get it anymore. I'm sorry for even bringing this up because I know it's a sore point for some people who don't have this or ran out of it. As you can see, I'm getting awfully close, but I have a backup. I love this stuff so much. The good news is, if you don't have this, I'm pretty sure that the new Power Grip Primer is the exact same as this, just without the watermelon smell, which again is kind of a shame because I love the watermelon smell. This is such a good primer. It is so grippy, so tacky, it keeps your makeup on all day. Makeup goes on really smoothly on top of it. With some gripping primers, I've found that they can kind of make things stick in a really awkward way to some spots on your face, but this is also really hydrating, so it doesn't do that at all. Honestly, I like this better than the Milk Hydro Grip in terms of a gripping primer. These are absolutely amazing. I'm assuming that the Power Grip Primer is basically the same as this, so if you want to get your hands on this and you've never tried it before, you should definitely pick up the Power Grip. That being said, because I don't know for a fact that the Power Grip is the same as that, I'm also going to include an honorable mention, partially just because I cannot ever skip an opportunity to talk about these. My honorable mention for e.l.f., so currently available product that I would say is the best, are their bite-sized palettes. And part of the reason that I hold these in such high regard is because A, they're a wonderful formula, they perform beautifully, but B, they are $3 each. I will never shut up about these. They are amazing, especially for $3. You can try so many different color stories. I have mostly the neutral ones, but I also have this green one. They have a blue one. They have like a berry toned one. They have so many different fun color stories you can try for $3. So like, you're not breaking the bank. If you want to try a color you've never tried before, if you're not really into greens, but you want to give it a shot, it's $3. You're not losing anything for that, you know? So I cannot recommend these highly enough. They are so, so good. So yes, while Jelly Pop is still my number one, because I can't confirm for sure that you can get this formula anymore, number one that you can definitely still get are the bite-sized palettes. Was that an excuse to talk about multiple products from e.l.f.? Maybe. Shh. The next brand I want to talk about is Milani. I absolutely love Milani. Milani is one of those brands that I feel like really makes high-end quality products at drugstore prices. They have so many things that I absolutely love, and this was a really, really hard decision. But ultimately, I decided that my favorite product from them are the Color Fetish matte lipsticks. These are so ridiculously good. These are better than any high-end matte lipstick I have ever tried. And that includes the Charlotte Tilbury ones, and I've gone on this rant about 1,000 times. You're probably tired of hearing it if you've been here for a while, but the Charlotte Tilbury matte lipsticks are super silicone-y and they slip right off of your lips and they're really, really annoying. These stay put so well, which is the whole point of me wearing a matte lipstick as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm a gloss girl, so if I'm gonna wear a matte lipstick, it's because I want my lipstick to last a really long time. The lasting power of these is incredible, but they're still so creamy, so smooth, so comfortable, so lightweight. Everything I want a matte lipstick, these have, and they have some of the most beautiful shades. So these are the two shades that I have. I absolutely want to pick up more. So this first one is the shade Secret 430. This one is an exact shade dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, but it's a way better formula. So I think this is $8 or $9. I would say pick this up over the Charlotte Tilbury anytime, always. This is such a beautiful, creamy, soft formula. Look at that. But my favorite shade, the first one I picked up, is this one. This is 440 Passion. This is my go-to fall lipstick. I am obsessed with this color. I just think it's so unique. I can't really find another lipstick shade in my collection, and I have a ton of lipsticks. I can't find one that looks just like this. This shade is so interesting. It's just this beautiful, like, purpley, that's such a terrible swatch, but it's just this purpley, browny, mauvey color. It is so beautiful, and again, it lasts so well. I can wear these through a meal, and they will not rub all the way off. Like, you're gonna get some transfer because it's not a liquid lipstick, you know, but they wear so well. I will still have color on my lips at the end of the meal or drinks or wherever I'm wearing these to, so I cannot say enough good things about these lipsticks. They are phenomenal, and I would pick them over any high-end bullet lipstick anytime. So the next brand is Covergirl. Covergirl makes a lot of really nice products. A lot of them have kind of been hit or miss for me, but the ones that are hits are really, really good. So unfortunately, this is another one that seems to be no longer available in drugstores. Like, I think you can still find these on their website, but who's buying Covergirl from their website? But my favorite product that I have ever had from Covergirl is this. This is the Exhibitionist Lid Paint in the shade Cocoa Nuts. Cocoa Nuts. It's just, oh my gosh. It's just a really beautiful, and I'm going to do such a small swatch because every bit of this is precious. It's just this really beautiful liquid shadow. It has this moussey kind of whipped texture, and this is such a great shade for just doing a really easy neutral eye look. It's just this sort of almost cool toned neutral brown. I just put a little bit on my lid and blend it out with a brush, and then top it with whatever glittery shadow I feel like wearing that day. Other shadows, if I want to deepen the crease or do something a little bit more dramatic, other shadows blend so easily on top of this. So it's a 2-in-1 for me, kind of. It's a nice transition shade and an eyeshadow base. I am so sad that they don't make this anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this. Like, I know I just said who places orders on Covergirl's website, but, like, I might place an order on Covergirl's website when I run out of this liquid shadow. It is so, so good. But because, once again, I don't necessarily think you can get your hands on that anymore, I am going to include another honorable mention product, which I know you can still get. This is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. I have mine in the shade 110 Porcelain, which is a little bit light, but I don't mind it. I'm pretty pale as it is. It's a really, really beautiful pressed powder. I think this is $8, $9, something like that. And it goes on sale at Ulta all the time. The whole Clean Fresh line goes on sale really frequently. This, to me, does a lot of the same things that my all-time favorite finishing powder, which is the Kosas Cloud Set, does. It has a very similar effect. I'm not going to say that they're dupes because they're absolutely not. The Kosas is much more lightweight. It's much thinner in texture. It's baked. So they're definitely not dupes, but if you're balling on a budget and you want a similar effect on the face, this is probably the closest thing I've tried. It just has this way of blurring over pores and imperfections, but also allowing some of the glow from the makeup underneath to come through, but it cuts down on shine just this much, you know? Powders like this in the Kosas are exactly what I reach for, and they're really perfecting. Like, my forehead has 0 discernible pores, but it still has a little bit of that shine coming through without me looking like an oil slick. So yeah, if you don't account for this, this is my favorite Covergirl product that you can definitely still get your hands on in a drugstore. So L'Oreal. L'Oreal, I love. They make so many amazing products, but their prices are getting very steep. And that was kind of ultimately what led me to pick the product that I did. So I thought about talking about the True Match Nude like serum foundation, which is an absolutely beautiful product and I love it. Look at me dropping in an extra product recommendation just because I can't not mention it. It's an absolutely incredible product, and I thought about talking about it, but it's like $20. There are foundations you can buy at Sephora for $20. That's just so pushing it to me. This one is still kind of pricier than a drugstore product needs to be, but I think it's my current favorite powder bronzer in my whole collection. This is the Loreal Infallbile 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. This is so good. This is an amazing bronzer. Amazing. Like, since this came into my collection, every time a high-end powder bronzer comes out or goes on sale or whatever, I kind of look at it and go, yeah, but Is it going to be better than my L'Oreal one? So yes, while the price is kind of steep, I think depending on where you buy this, it can get as high as like $17, which is so stupid for a drugstore product. I've seen it go on sale, and I know I got this on Amazon for like $12. So you can, there's some variation in the price. You can find it for a little bit less, but the reason that I still think it's so unbelievably worth it is because this has replaced my desire for every high-end powder bronzer. I don't believe that any of them are going to be better than this. It has the softest, most beautiful buttery texture without being too powdery and pigmented. They describe it as a soft matte finish, which I agree with. It's not a flat matte. It does have a little bit of dimensionality to it. It's not shimmery. It's not satin even. It's just natural, and I think it's so beautiful. The way this blends is like no other powder bronzer I have ever tried that exists in my collection. I mean, this is really a top-notch, high-end quality bronzer. So, Infallible bronzer, 10 out of 10, and I can't wait to try the Infallible blushes that they just came out with, so stay tuned for that one. So Maybelline is the next brand I want to talk about, and they also make a lot of really high quality products, especially their complexion products. Their complexion products are phenomenal. I rarely come across a Maybelline complexion product that I don't like, but I want to talk about one of their lip products, because when I sat and thought about which product I wanted to pick for Maybelline, this is one that I realized I just can't not have in my collection. It is such a staple when I need a long-wearing lipstick. And it is the Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipsticks. These are like the one product from Maybelline that I just can't be without. So that's what ultimately had me pick these. The staying power on these is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever experienced. The first time I ever tried one of these out, and to really see if it lasted for a long time, was on Christmas Eve a couple years ago. I wore this beautiful red shade called Dancer, and I really needed it to last all night because Christmas Eve, it's a big party, we get a little crazy, there's a lot of food, there's some drinks, a lot is happening. So I really needed a lipstick that was going to stay the course, and this did not disappoint. By the end of the night, look at that pigment. Unbelievable. By the end of the night, my lipstick looked untouched. Yet the pigment had faded a little, and I mean like this much. But it was not patchy, it was not flaking, it was not smearing, nothing. And when I went to wash it off, my makeup remover, which is like a hardcore cleansing balm, I had to scrub at my lips to get this to come off. So this is not a liquid lipstick for the faint of heart. If you're not into that, then, you know, don't touch these. But if you need liquid lipsticks for some occasions that will just never let you down, these are the ones to go for, I'm telling you. I also have a couple other shades that are more neutral shades. This is my favorite of the shades. It is this beautiful, they describe it on this website as like a grayish rose, and I love that. It's the shade Seductress. It is so beautiful. Look at that, just gorgeous rosy nude color. Obsessed with that one. And then I also picked up this lighter nude shade that was just a little bit chiller on the very, very everyday basis, and it is the shade Poet, which is also just a really beautiful, lighter pinky nude. So those are the shades that I have. I love them. This is still my go-to red lipstick. If I'm wearing red to anything, it's probably gonna be this. I absolutely love these, and I could not be without them in my collection. However, I'm also a clown, and when I was thinking about what Maybelline products I just could not live without, I ended up realizing that there is in fact a second product. So I'm going to be quick about this. This is the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. This is one of the best mascaras I've ever tried. This is a mascara that I literally refuse to be without a tube of. This is not waterproof, but I have taken naps in this. I have gone out in the rain. I have done all kinds of things in this, and it literally never budges. My eyelashes look beautiful and soft and fluttery, which is my favorite lash look, and you can wear it in just one layer for every day, or build it up like crazy and look like you're wearing literal false lashes for sort of a more glam nighttime look. So I love this stuff. It's just really that good. So yeah, I could not be without either of these things, so I did in fact have to mention both. Next, let's talk about Colourpop. Colourpop is one of my favorite brands just ever. I have an ungodly amount of things from them, and most of them are really good. So while that might make you think that this was a difficult decision for me, it was not. And if you've ever been here before, this will not be a surprise to you. The Colourpop Super Shock Shadows are one of the best things that have ever come into my life, just ever. I love these things. I wear these more than probably any other makeup product in my collection, and that's not an exaggeration, especially my all-time favorite shade. This is my second one. This is the shade Ritz, which is what I have on my lids today. It is just the shiniest, most wet-looking, delicious, like, so good. These dry out kind of quick sometimes. It varies from shade to shade. That's my one thing that annoys me about them. Ritz tends to dry out pretty quick, but it's $7 and you can buy it at Target now. So like, okay. And even once it dries out, I mean, mine is pretty dry, but it does not lose that gorgeous wet shine. And it has a little bit of that brown base that just makes it so reflective. The contrast is what really makes it pop to me. I could wax poetic about Ritz, but I won't. In my inner corner today, I have another shade that I absolutely love. This is from that same collection, and it's called Koosh. It's this very metallic, icy silver. This one has stayed very, very wet and creamy, which is delightful. So this is the shade Koosh. That's just like, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's so bright, but it has that kind of taupier base. It's, I don't know if you can get this one anymore, which is such a shame because it's also one of my favorites. This is from their like 90s Y2K kind of inspired collection, and this is the shade Cami. Cami Crush. I thought it was just Cami. Cami Crush. It is this unreal bubblegum pink with this like greeny shift to it. It's wild. This is not as chunky glitter as in a shade like Ritz. There are shades that have chunkier glitter and shades that tend to have more finely milled glitter. This one has much finer glitter. So this is the shade Cami Crush. Look at that. Tilt, you can see that really, really bubblegum pink base, but head on, it's just like this beautiful goldy green. The green doesn't really show on camera quite well, but you can really see it in person. Like if I look at it like this, it's like green and teal sparkles all the way through it. It's absolutely stunning. And they will occasionally come out with a standout shade like that that's like so unique and unbelievable. And then while we're on the subject of those shifty shades that are so unique and beautiful, one thing about me is I cannot resist a brown-green duochrome. So this is the shade Rooftop Cocktails. What? This one has also remained really, really smooth. It's just ridiculous. So this is the shade Rooftop Cocktails. Swatched out. Just so pretty. This is almost a better swatch than the one on my hand, especially since I did it at such a weird angle, but just such a fun, glam kind of going out shade. I love that one. So yes, me and Super Shock Shadows have a very lengthy, passionate relationship, and I will continue to go on and on about these for probably the duration of the existence of this channel. They're so good. If you've never tried them, you should. You can get them at Target now. The next brand I want to talk about is Nyx. Nyx is also one of those brands that's getting like annoyingly expensive, but this product is pretty reasonable in price. I want to say it's $10 or $11 most places, and this is by far one of the best concealers I've ever tried. High-end drugstore, whatever. This is the Nyx Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and I'm obsessed with this. I use this as concealer, I use this as foundation. I will happily wear this all over my face, and it will make me look unbelievably beautiful. It's dewy, it's smoothing. I don't know, it smooths over every pore. I don't know how they do it. I don't even have to set this, which makes no sense because it has this it comes in a pump. Isn't that cool? It has this very serumy texture and it's kind of dewy. So you would think, okay, I'm probably gonna have to set that, but I don't. Like my under eyes look amazing all day long and I don't even have to set it. I don't pretend to understand how they formulated this, but it is by far one of the best concealers I have ever used in my life. Like, I would rather use this than my Pat McGrath concealer. I would rather use this than my NARS, like, hands down, without question. So if you haven't tried this yet, please get your hands on this before they discontinue it, because I just know they're gonna, because they keep discontinuing the Bare With Me line. They had a skin tint in this line that was amazing, and they discontinued that, so try this before it's too late, because it's just so good, okay? I don't know what else I can say. It's just so good. Next, we're going to talk about Wet n Wild. They are a favorite brand of mine. They are so affordable. They've stayed so affordable, and their products are just really top-notch most of the time, you know? This one, though, is beyond reliable, beyond solid. This is phenomenal. And it outdoes so many of my high-end tinted moisturizers. This is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I've talked about it on this channel several times, and I will continue to, because this is so good. I think this is $6 or $7. And it reminds me a lot in finish of the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Moisturizer, which is a great product. I recommend it if you're interested in it. However, this one I like almost even more. Do you see how thin that is? It still has really decent coverage, though. I mean, you can build this up to a solid medium coverage easily. And it's just so thin that it doesn't exaggerate anything on your face, but it's also hydrating, so it just really makes everything look smooth and healthy and dewy. I love this stuff. I wear this all the time. This is really reliable. It lasts remarkably well for being such a thin, watery, dewy kind of product. You really can sheer it out or build it way up to what I would say is a solid medium coverage. So I'm obsessed with this. Easily, in my mind right now, the best product that Wet n Wild is selling, hands down, no question. This is amazing. Physicians Formula is one of those brands that I feel like is kind of falling off the radar. They're just kind of not really doing anything new lately. However, I talked about them in the previous video and I want to talk about them now, partially because my favorite product from them is one that I very rarely have favorites of. Just because I don't use it much. My favorite thing Physicians Formula makes is their Eye Booster Liquid Liner. I almost never wear liquid liner anymore, okay? It's just, I'm not good at it. Like, this took me way too long to do, and I'm too much of a perfectionist, and it takes too long, and it gets too messy, and I don't wear it very often. But when I do, I'm almost always reaching for these. I have it in black and brown. This is such a perfect brown liner. It is just, that's what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing the brown. It is just a little softer than a black. It's still really good at defining the eye and adding that beautiful, just like cat eye kind of look that I go for when I'm doing liquid liner, but it's just a little bit less intense. I love it. They're so good. They never rub off. But the dry down time is enough that if I screw up, it's not already like stuck to my face. I can rub it off pretty easily and fix it. So, I mean, just everything about these. The brush tip is absolutely beautiful. It's exactly the right thickness. It's not so thin that you're like struggling to make this wing like fill in, but it's not so thick that you just draw this fat marker line on your eye. Just everything about these is the ideal liquid liner for me. So, coming from somebody who is not great at liquid liner, if you also kind of struggle, I really recommend that you try this because I really think it'll kind of change the game for you because it definitely did for me. So, in a very strange choice for me, I think this is Physicians Formula's best product, easily. And finally, Makeup Revolution. I kind of reamed Makeup Revolution in the last video, and frankly, they deserved it. Their products tend to be really, really hit or miss. And when they hit, but when they miss bad. And unfortunately, I would also say that they have more misses than hits. So when I tried this product, you can imagine how surprised I was that it is one of the best cream bronzers I've ever tried. This is their Ultra Cream Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Light. They don't have very many shades, but the range is pretty decent for what that's worth. The thing about this is that it is just so creamy. It's so creamy. But it sets in place and it lasts for ages. The shade is also perfect. It's a much more neutral tone than a lot of drugstore cream bronzers because they either tend to pull super orange or yellow, but it's also not a contour. It really is a bronzer. This one's a little bit more peachy in tone, I would say. Stunning. This is amazing. It's really, really pigmented, but so easy to just blend right out. See, and it's not patchy at all. I don't know what got into Makeup Revolution when they came out with this, but they need to do more of that because this is stunning. So, I mean, really and truly, if you're looking for a product from Makeup Revolution, this is the best thing they've ever done. By far. This is not just kind of a hit from them. This is like hit it out of the park from them, which was so shocking. Again, because I just didn't expect it. I didn't expect it from Makeup Revolution. This was such a nice surprise from them. More of this, please. Makeup Revolution. So that's it, you guys. Those were my absolute favorite products from 10 drugstore brands that I love. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. please let me know, what is your favorite product from any of these brands? If I were to do a video like this again, what brands did I leave out of this video that you want to hear my favorite products from, my least favorite products from? Let me know. I would absolutely love to make a part 2 to this because I can think of so many other brands that I've tried. If you enjoyed this video or you got something out of it, I would be so happy if you would go ahead and hit like, maybe even hit subscribe if you want to see more from me. I would absolutely love to have you. And until the next one, bye you guys.